Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. I thought we would have a look at the Pages of History event, which is going to be going on in June, basically because it starts on the 2nd of June. Looks like this is going to be a monthly thing after we saw the one in May, and now we have the one for June, and I'm super happy, to be honest with you. The Pages of History events have been fantastic. They've basically given me a reason to play a bunch of vehicles which I haven't played in an incredibly long time. And also, when it comes to this Pages of History event, they seem to be expanding it past World War II, which is really, really nice. It also gives people an opportunity to be able to grind more than one tech tree, and I generally think it should be something prioritized, getting every tech tree to rank 3 instead of just barreling down one of them, just because of the fact that you have these events now, and also you can have challenges and stuff on the Battle Pass, which suits certain nations and not others. Anyway, let's get into what is in this Pages of History event. So if you complete all 8 of the history events, you get yourself a really cool profile picture. This is for Richard Winters. Now, if you don't know who Richard Winters is, basically he was an officer in the United States Army. If you haven't watched the Band of Brothers series, when it comes to actual TV, I highly recommend watching it. It is absolutely fantastic. It was one of the best pieces of television I have personally ever watched, only really second to the Pacific series, which also came out. And by the way, they're working on a third, which is called Masters of the Air, and hopefully that'll be out soon, because these series are fantastic if you're interested in the Second World War. Richard Winters basically was part of Easy Company. He commanded 2nd Battalion, 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment, which was part of the 101st Airborne during the Second World War. He eventually got to being promoted to be a major and put in command of 2nd Battalion itself. And he's one of the D-Day heroes, basically. It says in the article, after landing in Normandy, he led his squad of 13 paratroopers against German artillery crews shelling Utah Beach. His team not only defeated the enemy forces in the Battle of Breakout Manor, but also captured a map of other artillery batteries in the area. This operation is cited to this day as an example of a skillful tactical attack of a small formation on the enemy's stationary position. He is definitely a legend when it comes to World War II, and it is absolutely fantastic that we get to see him in game as well. This is just a really cool thing. I'm super happy to see them do stuff like this, and I hope they continue it. I also thought I'd stick in this video, because I kind of forgot to put it in the other one, is this bomb, which is in the asset viewer. Now this is actually a pretty interesting bomb. You know how we talked about yesterday, there were some explosive fire bombs which were in the game? Well, this is kind of another one. This is the 750-pound BLU-27. The BLU-27B is a welded version of the fire bomb, which is the BLU-1B. What it has inside of it is napalm. So this is a standard good old napalm bomb that I'm sure many people have been looking forward to. The bomb itself is assembled, welded, filled, and also packaged at the factory. So therefore, you don't need any field assembly for it, which is pretty cool, because a lot of the other firebombs actually need a bit of field assembly to them. So overall, it's pretty much an all-in-one package designed to create a lot of fire and a lot of burning. So yeah, thought I'd just show you it, just to show you it's in the files, really. So the history events are going to be pretty much the same as what we saw last month. So every time you complete an event, you're either going to get an RPRSL booster, a universal backup, 1 day of premium account, or a random camouflage for one of the vehicles which is being used during the event. You can GE the whole event if you want to. You can also do all the tasks in random battles except for assault mode. So you can even do these tasks in simulator now if you feel like it. So for me, I think that's pretty awesome. So yeah, you can either complete the tasks or you can buy them if you want to get the little bonuses and also the profile picture which is on offer. From the 2nd to the 5th of June, there's going to be the Battle of Midway. So this will be this will be either the naval one or the aviation side of things. So you can use either of them during that time period. From the 5th to the 8th of June, of course, the History of Pages event is going to be D-Day. I'm wondering if they're going to do something else during D-Day as well. Maybe they'll do another Legends of, history thing, kind of like how they did with the IS-2. What if they did the Sherman DD tank? That would be super cool, and I would be massively into that. So I'm hoping that we get something like that, but who knows? Anything's possible at this point. From the 9th of June to the 12th, you have the Battle of Sultan Yaqub. This was from the 10th to the 11th of June in 1982, where the Israeli army was severely tested during the Lebanese War. 3 companies of its tank battalions were surrounded by Syrian forces, and 11 battalions of artillery fire supported a breakthrough of armored vehicles trying to compensate for reconnaissance failure. Most of them succeeded in escaping the trap. So there's going to be an Israeli one as well, and maybe some other nations as well, depending on what was being used by the Syrians. From the 12th to the 15th, you've got the Battle of Villers-Bocage, which of course was another battle in Normandy, an incredibly, I suppose, a turntable? I don't know how you put it, but basically one which turned the tides of battle, because it was one where the Tigers were actually involved. It took the British 2 months to capture the city. It was a hell of a battle. Then from the 15th to the 18th, you have the Battle of Ancona. This was a month-long battle, which was an important port in eastern Italy, from which the 2nd Polish Army Corps knocked out the German forces. It was the only battle on the Western Front in which only Polish troops took part on the Allied side, so completely Polish dominance when it comes to that battle. One of the things I like about the Page of the History event as well, I learn about battles that I didn't know about, and that's one of them. Then you've got the Battle of the Philippine Sea. This is going from the 19th of June to the 22nd, so that will probably be naval places as well. Then you've got Operation Bagration, of course, from the 23rd of June to the 26th of June. This was in honor of Prince Pyotr Bagration, or the hero and an outstanding military leader of the Patriotic War of 1812, was named the large-scale operation which began on the 23rd of June 1944 to liberate Belarus and Lithuania from German occupation. The Red Army gained a confident victory over the Army Group Center of the Wehrmacht and pushed it far away to the territory of Poland. And then the last one is from the 27th of June to the 30th of June. This is the Corsair's first flight, and that's the F4U-1 Corsair. So you'll probably be able to use all of the different ones of that. And it says one of the most effective U.S. aircraft of the Second World War was the Chance Vought F4U, named the Corsair. Its first model, designed for mass production, was imported over the prototype. The cockpit was somewhat raised and the hull strengthened to withstand landing on aircraft carriers. The first flight of the F4U-1 took place at the end of June 1942, and it dominated the skies of the Pacific. There was really not an answer that the Japanese had to the wonderful Corsair. So those are the different events which are going to be going along during June. I'm going to be doing them on the Twitch channel, and I'm hoping you do them too, because this is easily one of the funnest events when it comes to War Thunder's calendar right now. The last part of this video I thought I would dedicate to a personal message, because I've been getting a lot of DMs and a lot of comments about different things, and I thought I would try and make some things clear to newer viewers when it comes to the channel. A lot of people in general, when it comes to the amount of videos I do, especially around dev servers, seem to worry about my health. There's no reason to. Over the last year or so, my health has improved dramatically compared to what it was before. Before, unfortunately, I had a bunch of injuries when it came to sports, and it kind of screwed up my body. But nowadays, I'm running at about 90%, you know. Obviously, there's aches and pains here after operations and stuff, but overall, I feel pretty good. I'm eating well. I'm sleeping, you know, decently well, and I'm getting a bunch of stuff done. Over the course of June, I am going to be not working as much in my actual full-time job. I'm going to take a few weeks leave just because I have them saved up and I might as well use them because they're sat there, get some paid leave in. And we're going to go full hog into the content stuff. So that means more streams, that means more videos on YouTube, and generally that just means more time to be able to improve slight little things, such as certain ideas we've had for a few months. So the main thing to understand is just because the workload that I have is higher than others doesn't mean that you have to worry. I'm used to this. I've been doing it for a very long time, since pretty much my early teens, and I know where my breaking point is when it comes to working, and I know how to kind of, you know, keep going even near that. So don't worry about it too much. I'll be fine. You just enjoy the content. Don't worry about the man behind the voice. Also, at the same time, watched Top Gun last night. Fantastic movie. Loved every second of it. Had a great time. There was a decent amount of nostalgia in it, but I thought it was handled very well. The actual overall plot was pretty decent. There was a few odd things when it comes to realism, but I suppose that's going to happen when you have an action movie. But if you haven't seen Top Gun, I would highly recommend it. It's fantastic to see in the theater, mainly because of the sound. So make sure to go get it, and make sure to go have some fun. Peace be with you, as always, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Merciless Reaper, Jerry Provolt, Mega Dino King, Professor X1718, Orange Tail, Sakoshi Tiger, Teddy, John Ryman, Universe, Eugens Terry, Ambrosius McClellan, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, Moxie, B. Young, and Derek R., Bareen, Lafouche, and Samuel Slick for supporting the channel.